welcome to Rockafellas Barber Shop. This is the day that the Lord has made, and I will be blessed and be glad in Him. Today I want to introduce myself. My name is Rico Rodriguez at Rockafellas Barber Shop here in San Antonio, Texas, 1733 Babcock Road. My phone number is 210-782-5188. Come out and get your haircut here at Rockafellas Barber Shop. You are listening to I Am Refocused Podcast on iHeartRadio.
You are listening to Refocused Magazine Podcast with your host, Shamaya Reed. This podcast is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. Now let's tune in to today's podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to I Am Refocused Podcast. Today we have an awesome show, but before we get right into it, I just want to give a quick shout out to the owner of Rockafellas Barber Shop, Rico Rodriguez. Make sure you go and get your haircut, man. And just heads up, next week is Thanksgiving, so we are taking the week off, just FYI. And today we have the one and only B Michele. How you doing, B Michele?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Excellent,
Good.
excellent. So,
Good to have you.
Thank you. I was so really excited when you asked me to come on. I was like, yay.
Yes, I'm glad you was available.
Yes, I know, right?
tell us a little bit about early on in your life. How did you get started and what influenced you with entrepreneurship?
Well, actually, come from a family of entrepreneurs on my mother's side. So my mother, her brothers, my grandfather, they all owned businesses as well as, worked 9-to-5 jobs. So I have an aunt that owns a beauty supply store, an uncle that does woodwork. My grandfather used to actually build barbecue grills out of barrels and sell them. So just come from pretty much a long line. Uncle that owns a mechanic shop in Colorado. So it's kind of always, it's been in our family. And I say maybe about year 5 or 6 of teaching, I think I kind of got the bug. But because teaching takes so much of your time, and it's like, it's a lot. And for me, it was like hard to try to teach full time, start up a part-time business. Although I would do it, like I do events for people here and there. I mean, I did a couple of friends' baby showers, things of that nature, but it wasn't until the big move to the Middle East.
Nice. And I was about to get into that. So you did teaching for 15 years, right?
Yeah, so I was an educator for 15 years in the public school system here in the U.S. as well as in the Middle East in Abu Dhabi. Probably most people know Abu Dhabi by the movie.
Yes.
Or Dubai.
Dubai.
I normally say Dubai, and then they get the connection.
They start looking for Lambos and stuff.
Yeah. So they're an hour away from each other, though. So quick drive. I started teaching there in 2009. And funny story. So we were out one night with some friends at a spot in Abu Dhabi, and a little altercation happened. And so after the altercation, it really kind of made me like, you know what, we kind of need to do our own thing. And so the next day I was so mad. I went on Facebook. I was talking about the event they had. One of my friends pretty much had got into a fight. And I was like, this is crazy. So I got called to a couple of my teacher friends, and I was like, hey, y'all, we should start doing our own events and our parties. And next thing you know, it was like 3 of us, and there was a guy, Jamar, shout out to Jamar Long. He was actually active duty Air Force there. And so he used to do promotions at one of the clubs there. And so I hit him up and was like, hey, can you help us, with this party? And so we had our first party. It was a mansion party.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
The first one?
The first one.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's not
right to the mansion.
Yeah, so one of our a colleague, he actually was a government contract worker. He had a compound, basically. So we kind of deemed his compound as the mansion. And that was the first party that we did. It was a all-you-can-eat, all-you-can-drink situation. And it went from there. So we started our company, and we were like the first teachers, because I mean, honestly, like, you were just supposed to be there to be teaching. But we was like, hey, we're going to do this. So we were the first group of teachers to actually start a business.
Nice.
And start doing things. And now it's so funny that I look on Facebook and I see all the teachers and all the people doing stuff. And it was nice to look back and know, like, hey, we started this.
Wow.
So it's been good. And then that kind of just steamrolled into actually launch B Michele Events while I was there.
Okay.
So we had our official launch in 2013, May 2013 there. And then I knew I was coming to the U.S. And then that's when I met you guys.
Nice.
Yes, you did.
Wow.
Yep.
Tell us. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, tell us about the startup. How was that transition?
It was rough.
Yeah.
It was rough because after having so much success in Abu Dhabi, I was just like on a high. Like, this is going, and not really thinking about, like, it's not going to work or any issues that I could really face. But I was like, you know, I've been doing this a while, and then I definitely got a welcome home.
Wow.
Instantly, just on different business practices where things I was used to doing events in Abu Dhabi, that those practices weren't the same here. So I definitely had to adjust how I, interacted with people, what my requirements were, and what I wanted back from an event. So after that, and I was like, okay, I'm back home. This is how it goes. I gotta adjust, a little bit, and then I think shortly. Well, actually, the first event was the Laugh Out Loud comedy show. We had a Resurrection.
Okay.
So that was my first.
We were there.
Yes.
And that was a good one.
Yes. And so, honestly, I will say my rude awakening really didn't come until a little bit after that, because I was that was my first show, and as y'all were there, it was amazing.
We never would have known it was your first.
Really?
Yeah, because it went so smooth, and you did so good up there.
Yes.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah,
that was my introduction to San Antonio.
Wow.
So I think I had been back in the U.S. like 4 months.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I got back on my birthday, July 3rd, 2013, and then that show was in November. So I had met Thomas at the barber shop. I want to say August time frame. And so then he connected me to Tim, and then that's kind of what got the ball rolling.
Speaking of Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Shout out to Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Nice.
So that's kind of what got the ball rolling on that show. And then so it's just kind of we've been going from there. So shout out to my Abu Dhabi friends that's watching. I see Keisha on the live feed. Yeah, that was such a great experience. But yeah, so that's kind of how it got going. And then just really, I made an effort to just network, because I tell you, when I got here, I only knew 2 people. Literally.
Wow.
2. So I knew that I had to, number one, to build this business and this brand, I was going to definitely have to be out meeting people. And I think for a good 2.5 years straight, I just networked and networked and networked.
Nice.
To where we are today. Now I got to make sure I look the part even when I go to Walmart.
Because they know you now. They recognize you.
Right. So people know me that I don't know. That's what sometimes is weird. Like I'm at Walmart, I'm down the aisle, and somebody like, hey, we're Facebook friends, and I feel so bad. Because I'm like, okay. Like, hi.
Right.
Who are you? And so, but it's always good to meet. It's always definitely good to meet them.
It is.
Because I tell people, I don't know all these people.
Yeah.
And so although I do try to make sure I can put a face, it's always good to put a face with a name. But because there's so many people, and I either have come to a show or seen me somewhere or Facebook but nonetheless, I'm definitely totally thankful and blessed to have the support that I have from the people here in San Antonio and throughout. For sure, because even after we did the show at Resurrection, I want to say a year later, I ended up partnering with a couple guys out of Atlanta and one out of Houston. So we actually did the show at Marcus. In Atlanta. We did at I think it was Bishop Barner's Church, and in Savannah, Georgia, and then we did Oklahoma City.
Nice.
So I was able to kind of get the B Michele brand out. side of San Antonio, which was good, especially so early on.
Yeah.
So I was definitely happy about that. So,
Were there programs they were a part of for entrepreneurs, like local in San Antonio?
So I just did a lot of just some of the networking events. Like there's like the Taco Tuesdays. More so just a lot of more so networking. I did join Sisters in Business when it first started, and then that really, I really met a lot of people there. And then I'm currently a part of Black Women in Business, which has now 4 chapters: Austin, Austin, Dallas, San Antonio. And so that organization is growing, so a part of that, and I've met a lot of people through Black Women in Business, and they're actually having their extravaganza coming up, matter of fact, this weekend in Austin. So shout out to BWIB.
Tell us about your education part, because you have a bachelor's and a master's in social work. One bachelor's from Tarleton State and the master's from University of Houston. Tell us a little about that.
So I have to say, I started out at the University of Missouri. So go Tigers. So I actually spent 3 years at the University of Missouri. And then the cold weather. I was just, you know what? I can't. I think the 1 year that I was, this is the only year I think has ever happened. I think it was my freshman year that the school actually shut down. Like, it was that much snow. And I think they've only shut down one time. I think that was the one time. The weather, it was a bit much. And then on top of that, my aunt, who lives in Killeen, my uncle's military, so he was continuously getting deployed. So, and they had young children at the time. So I was like, well, I'm tired of freezing. You need help with the kids. I'm moving. And so I ended up transferring to Tarleton, the Killeen campus. Graduated with a BSW there, and great school, great people. Still in touch with some of the people, but in my life, I've always liked to have choices. That was really important to me, to have choices. And so I knew that if I really got a teaching degree, that I would be stuck. Yeah. And that's not a good chance. That's probably all I was going to be able to do, unless I went back. And going back was not an option. I wanted options, but going back was not an option. Like, I really wasn't trying to get 2 bachelors. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to switch over to social work, because once I looked at the field and I looked at what I like to do in my personality, and I was like, you know what? This probably would be a really good fit. Now I can still work with kids. So I could do. So I actually majored, did a emphasis on children and family. So I was like, okay, I get to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I can still work with kids. I then have flexibility in my job in this way. If I decide I didn't want to do that, having a social work degree would allow me to actually do more than just that, because there's social workers in hospitals, there's social workers at the VA, nursing. So they're everywhere. Right. So I wouldn't necessarily be pigeonholed into one career. And then, so after my bachelor's, I realized, hey, I really do want to do education. And so I actually ended up getting certified to become a teacher in 2001. And so at that time, which was weird, teachers were getting paid more money than social workers. Yes. Although my first teaching job was in Hubbard, Texas, which had about a population.
Oh, wow.
Hubbard, Texas. Right outside of Mahia. Outside of Waco. So it had about a population, I'm going to say about 500, maybe 500 people. So I was their first black teacher.
Oh. You made history.
Yes, I was their first black teacher in elementary school. And trust me, they let me know.
Was that good? Let you know.
Ooh, let's just say I got baptized in the teaching profession.
Okay.
But it was, honestly, it was good. The principal was very supportive. It was just like my methods and who I am. I'm a free person. And so I guess, but I'm also serious about learning in children, so I take that very seriously. And so, sometimes I will never forget, we had a project about volcanoes, so I partnered the kids up so they could make this volcano. Well, not knowing that they don't really like to interact with each other at each other's houses, so that project was it was a bit interesting, but nonetheless it came together. But the parents was like, well, can't they just do it on their own? And one parent totally went and bought one. I really think he bought the volcano. But it was amazing.
Okay.
So
would he get a D on that project?
I know, right? I was like, well, she kind of was supposed to build the volcano.
Entrepreneur,
right. So, but no, that was weird. So that was my first actual teaching job. So then honestly, before that, even when I was at Charlton, I was a substitute teacher. So I really have been in education since about 99, because I moved to Texas the summer of 98. So been in education since then, just through Houston. I taught in Houston, in North Forest ISD, Galena Park ISD. Then I went to University of Houston for grad school. So go Cougs. So a tiger and a cougar.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
So go Cougs. So I got my master's at the University of Houston. I will honestly say, I'm gonna give this a good commercial pub. U of H, that's the best money I spent.
There you go.
In the education arena. Like, I don't regret not $1 of that master's degree, because I had awesome professors. Okay. And it was very intense. I mean, this was a crying. I cried through that program. So, but I do not regret any of it, and I feel like that was the best money spent in my educational career. Like, I really thoroughly enjoyed the program and met a lot of people from it. So as a teacher, it made me a better teacher, because now I have this degree in social work and education. So my experience is like branding in a sense. So my teaching style is totally different from the next teacher style, because I now really look at the child, the whole child, and what's happening. And so if they're hungry, whatever's going on in their house, I mean, I've helped parents find jobs. I've helped parents recover from fires. I had students whose parents were, incarcerated, so helping them through that. Like, I don't know, like, how as educators you see these kids 180 some days and you not feel compelled to be involved in their life and to help make it better, just not on the education level. Because one of my students, my first year teaching in Hubbard, she pretty much latched on to me, so it was almost like she was my child. She actually even went home with me for a Christmas break. So it was like, I fed her, I clothes. I mean, she was almost like my child. So here I am.
So your social work came into play.
Yes, totally.
For you quick.
Right. So it's like, I said, well, maybe I can like this. So I got a kid without the childbirth. This might work out. So now I still talk to her today. So she's 20-something years old. She has her own child. But it's nice to see the fruits of my labor actually manifest now as she's an adult, and just other students that I've had over time. And so, like, I think being a social worker, really, I put a lot into my kids. Not just money, but just even time. And so sometimes it does irritate me a little bit the way how our education system is now, and the quality of teachers that we have, because I'm just like, how do you not do anything?
Exactly. And you don't even have to be a teacher, because I didn't teach. I worked in the public schools for over 10 years, and I was the high school mentor.
Oh, wow.
And so, high school mentor, you have all walks of life.
Yes.
And all kinds of problems.
You do.
So, how can you not mentor? How can you not care about these kids, because they go through so much.
They do. Oh,
until you get to know them, you don't know, and so you're pushing them away, and just go to class. You're always shoving them away, and they really need. They need to.
And it was, we're going through that period in education where they didn't want you to hug the kids, and like. I taught elementary, so we cannot not hug.
And they'll tell you too, the kids go, I can't hug you, Miss Reed.
Yeah, so even in elementary, how do you not hug? And even when I taught middle school, it was funny because I had surgery on both of my feet when I taught 5th grade. And I was so shocked because I didn't realize how much they missed me, number one, because I was out for a few days. When I came back, I was in a wheelchair because I had a bunionectomy done on both my feet at the same time. I just figured we're just going to go ahead and knock it out. And so they would argue over who was going to push the wheelchair.
Wow.
And I just thought that was, and I know and I really thought that was the coolest thing. That they cared enough. They put a schedule together.
Oh.
Wow.
Fifth graders.
Yeah, they put a schedule together on who was going to push the wheelchair. And it was like, that right there was just like, oh, like they really cared that much. And I think because our relationship that I had with them also made them care enough to put a schedule together to see who's going to push me back and forth. Although one of them did drop a binder on it.
Ouch.
I was scared because I didn't know, like, the pen, I still had the pens in, holding the bone together, and they dropped the binder, and I was just like, I just pray to God ain't nothing happened. And we go just keep it moving.
Now, some of your services, you actually you coach businesses too with their branding. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so as B Michele Events has totally evolved, I'm telling you, I was just talking to my brother, and I was telling him, you could have told me 4 years ago that this is where I would be in my business, because I just came wanting to start an event planning business, and what happened doing the shows and needing like printing material for our flyers, banners, posters, all of those things. So I was working with a company, and they kind of dissolved, and so like I still needed these things. And so I was like, okay. And then people would ask me, hey, where'd you get your flyers done? Hey, where'd you get this done? And I was like, well, I think like I'm just letting this money walk out the door. Maybe I need to figure out how to do this. And so I went and got my license, got everything set up with the state, got the contracts, everything. And I was like, hey, here's B Michele Professional Services.
Nice.
So keep me with the B Michele brand.
There you go.
And so I started, got a couple graphic designers, contracted with a couple graphic designers here in San Antonio, and it just, that part started going. So we were like, they were about 2 years old in that. So after I realized as I'm dropping off clients, taking the clients their stuff, and we're having these conversations, they're lasting a while. About their business, about this, about that, because we're doing logos, offering logo design, website design, and anything that you need print, related for an event or your business. And just through those conversations, I realized, like, hey, people keep asking me about this stuff, and they're doing the stuff that I'm telling them.
Exactly.
And it's working. So maybe I need to sit back and, reevaluate some things and see what's really going on. And then I thought about it, so I said, well, I looked into, like, doing consulting and, coaching. I did a lot of research, read a lot of articles online, and I said, well, hey, let's just kind of put it out there and see what happens. So I just started putting it out on Facebook and hashtagging the coach B Michele. And I just kind of put it out there. And so next thing you know, people in my inbox.
Nice.
Like, hey, I need you to help me with my business. Or, can we talk about we got a business idea? Or I need this or I need that. So even before because technically I really haven't officially launched. Like, we're actually going to really officially launch the whole B Michele coaching and consulting. Here, hopefully, beginning of 2018. But like I currently do have coaching clients. I have a client in Houston. Washington Trucking, shout out to them. I currently have a client here, a Nitra booth with beautiful designs by Nitra. So one of my clients, she's a mobile hairstylist. So just helping people. And I have a client in North Carolina, Lady Red Events. So working, so I mean, it's going. So we pretty much do a consult. I just like, hey, so I set it up. I did a lot of research. I looked to see what other consultants and coaches were doing. And then the one thing that you always have to do with your business, figure out how you're going to make it yours and make it different. And so for me, my thing was, number one, my niche market is small business owners. So from startup to 4 to 5 years old. And then I realized what I was doing is like a lot of people didn't know certain things about, number one, establishing a business and setting one up. And I realized sometimes, especially in our community, we miss out on a lot of things by not knowing the proper places to go or the proper resources. This even is basically having an LLC and why you should have one.
Right.
I will tell you, I don't know if you saw the Facebook Live video I did about funding. I have a client that we're actually working on her business as well. She provides funding for small businesses. So I did a video about funding and how you could get funding for your business. So people were inboxing me, well, the number one requirement to get this funding is you have to have an LLC.
Okay.
So about 15 people inboxed me, and that knocked out about 13 of them.
Wow. They didn't have
one.
Wow.
And these are people that I know are functioning.
Yeah.
Have a functioning business. And so I think that sometimes we either get bad intel or we probably know we should. And I think just for me, what our company and what I want to definitely bring to the table in business branding and consulting with small business, number one, is getting them off to a right start, really having that personal interaction, letting them know the things that they may not know and the resources they may not have access to, and provide those and share my resources with them.
Right.
And then that's to get them, off to a good start. And it's work.
How do you sleep?
Yeah. I'm like, B Michele is on live and it's going on midnight.
I thought I was busy, man.
I want to listen, but I can't keep my eyes
sound like a
open.
vampire. Like, you just don't ever sleep.
No, listen. Okay, so here's the thing. No, I wish I could take a nap. I do. Naps are important, and one day I'll be able to take them. One day. Honestly, I sleep. I do. Sometimes it catches me at like 8 p.m. and I'm down for the count. And sometimes I can hold on and I'm just trying to get things done and doing stuff at 12 o'clock, and then I just for some reason I just wake up and I just wake up like 5 o'clock, or sometimes I just wake up at 4:30. And I'll troll through Facebook, read some articles.
Troll.
Yes. Yeah, I'm a troller. I will admit I am a troller.
A lot of us are
Yeah.
on social media.
But I'm trolling for stuff, and then I'm just kind of trolling at the same time. But I definitely read a lot of articles. I take that 4:30, 5 o'clock wake up time, to read articles and look up different strategies. Because right now I'm really in this whole branding thing for real. So I'm following a lot of other coaches right now. I'm in a lot of chat groups that's to support branding strategies, so I can learn other new strategies to help my clients. And I have a coach as well. So my coach, he lives in Alabama. So I was so happy when he came 2 weeks ago. So we actually, we got our meeting. Okay, I will call you.
Got some friends on there.
Don't call her, she'll call you.
Yeah. So I have a coach myself because I need someone definitely to help me stay focused.
Right.
And refocus.
Yes.
So I love him dearly. He's definitely been a help, and so it helps me then help my clients, be better. So it's almost like every counselor has a counselor.
Yes.
Type of thing. So I just at this point, my whole mission right now is to just be of help to help people really get a good start, because I love being an entrepreneur.
Right.
Like I wouldn't. All the stuff that I'm going through now and went through and probably am going to go through, I'm okay with it because I enjoy being an educator, and I'll always be an educator. My certificate is still good.
All right.
There you go.
And I just figured out, I knew that God really had to have more for my life than to stand up in front of 20 kids every day.
Right.
And I do miss education. I miss teaching. I do miss teaching. I miss the children. I just don't miss all the extra and the shenanigans with the state and all of that. But I do miss the kids. But I also figured there's another way for me to teach people and to be a teacher in another capacity. So I think this way, and I really love helping people either start their business, come up with new branding or marketing schemes to really get their business going. And it's fun and it's exciting. Like I still get excited when I see my logo on stuff. Like, but you should. I think, like, if it don't, when you see it, or it does become okay. It's there, but every once in a while, I think you should get that little flutter.
Right. Gotcha.
You
gotta be passionate about your brand if you want anyone else to be happy.
And that's why like half the clothes in my closet are embroidered.
There you go.
See? All right.
Now, all right. Say there's a small business owner or someone thinking about being an entrepreneur, listening to this podcast, this episode. What's some of the foundational things they need to put in place before they even take the next step?
Okay, so first things first is that you really, number one, have to decide, is this a passion that you have? First of all, is this something that you would do even if you didn't get paid to do it? Number one. Number two, you also then have to do some market research. I tell research is valuable to look and see what's happening in your immediate market, at least the next state over, the next city over, see what the current trends are. Then figure out what are you going to bring different to the table. So you kind of got to map all of that out first. And I'll give you an example. Even when I came to San Antonio, knowing I only knew 2 people here, and I was going to start this business and we're going to make it work, I researched and I Googled event planning companies in San Antonio and surrounding areas. I went to all of their websites, about 20-something websites, just to look to see what they had to offer. And then I figured out, what am I going to offer that they don't?
Okay.
There you go.
And that's really what you have to do no matter what industry that you're in. What do you have? What's inside of you? What is your passion? What gift do you have to give to people? And number one, the other thing also, it has to be solution-based. So what problem or solution are you solving? So what gap are you going to be able to fill in with this? So these are some things that you can brainstorm through, and just before you even decide to go get that business license. So things that you need to definitely think about prior to, and figure out what your niche is going to be and who your target market is. And, have a few conversations with some trusted folks.
Right.
Test the waters and see, what's what. Not like one of them things, well, hey, you can sing, you probably should go on American Idol, but you really can't. So we need to start telling our friends that. But, like, literally have conversation with trusted people that will give you good feedback.
Yes, in private.
Yes. And then, but even in that, while doing your brainstorming time, start creating a trusted circle of people, and not people, but people that you really can. Yeah, that's gonna say, I don't think you ought to do that.
Right.
You
might that's not hard to do.
Yeah.
To find that circle.
It is, but here's the thing.
Today, people think they get jealous.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they don't want to be honest with you. And
yes.
They want to hate on you.
But this is why this is why, like, if you can kind of do it early on before you all the way out there got a logo, got a website, got products. And I mean, it's like slow walk it. Like,
baby steps.
Do your due diligence.
Get the LLC, please.
Yeah, get the LLC.
Yeah. That's kind of important.
Don't get the LLC
until you're ready, though.
Right.
Until you're really ready. But I think those are all key elements. So when I visited all those websites, and I was like, hey, okay, they do weddings. I'm a one-man show right now, one-woman show, should I say? So weddings, not so much. Sorry. Edit that out.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, let's see if we can put this on vibrate. I don't know. Yes, let's do that. Because I do have some interesting ringtones. Sorry.
It's okay.
So yes, I looked and say, what can I offer different? So here's the thing. And I was like, well, we're just going to be a straight up full service event planning, and I just started meeting caterers, started meeting photographers, started meeting all these people to bring into the fold. So I felt like when they came to me, I don't really necessarily have to send them anywhere else, or have to, or are you going to get a photographer? We have all these, I've built all these relationships, so I'm going to make sure this all happens right here. And then when the printing thing came about, winning. That just really put the icing on the cake, because who doesn't need invitations? You're going to print out posters. You're going to print out banners for your events. So it took the whole one-stop shop thing to a whole nother level. Because honestly, there aren't any event planning companies out there.
No. And I'm sending people to you.
Yes.
They're asking me, who do you know? B Michele.
Thank you.
B Michele.
Like,
but you touched on something though about you're almost not just helping people out, but you're almost helping them get new clients.
Yes.
In return on that investment of valuing that friendship or relationship professionally, it comes back.
Because I've even called you guys, definitely on, some projects because y'all did a commercial. Y'all did our commercials for a couple of shows we did early on. So it's definitely all about your relationships and building those relationships. I mean, because relationships are key.
They are.
And making sure that, they stay nice and neat.
No burning bridges.
But so the one-stop shop thing became like, oh my goodness. So that really is what took it to even a whole nother level, because they've been playing. So that's why I really advise a lot of business owners is really look at whatever it is that you want to do. Because I have a lot of hairstyle clients, I have a lot of barber clients, and I tell them I feel like we have these conversations. There may be 20 barbers, 30 barbers here in San Antonio, but even look at the 20 barbers or hairstylists here in San Antonio and figure out what are you willing to do that they're not going to do.
Okay.
Period.
That's good.
Rico.
That's a drop the mic moment right there.
Rico.
Real quick, shout out to the owner of Rockafellas Barber Shop, Rico Rodriguez, and we are here with B Michele Events.
Yes. Thank you guys. So, but I'm just saying, I think it's not easy. So, by all means, this is not easy. But here are definitely some great tools to help propel you to that. You just have to really look at it and figure out where can you bring value. That maybe someone else is not bringing that value. And you're going to mess up. Trust me, I mess up stuff.
Right.
But at the end of the day,
Those
you
are stories.
fix it. Yes. And how did you fix it? How did you salvage that relationship? What, because your brand and your name is still all, even in business, your name is all you have.
Right.
And so you're going to mess up some things along the way. There's going to be some clients that's probably not going to be happy, but you try your best to fix it and you salvage that relationship. Because that's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
Exactly.
That's one thing that kind of irritates me when I go to a lot of business and the situation, something may happen, and they don't feel like they got to go the extra mile to fix it. And as a small business owner, we have no choice but to fix it.
Right.
Because our circle is so small. And that's one thing, no matter what city you live in, as a teacher, if I go to Houston right now, they know me as in my teacher capacity. Not necessarily, some they do know I own a business, but I have all my relationships are teacher based. And so no matter where you live, it's definitely about developing those relationships and building your brand accordingly. So if I was to go to Houston, I really I could build off of my teacher base to, and switch them over to bring them over to the business side, for sure. But it's at the end of the day, every city is the same in a sense, and then you just have to figure out where you fit in your market and in your city, and what are you gonna do different? Because that's what I just tell all my clients, what are you willing to do that your competitor's not going to do?
Right.
And that's real. So that's kind of where we are.
Not to give away all your secrets.
I know, right?
You need to start a master's class or something.
Yes, I'm working. Now you ask me why I don't sleep. This is why I don't sleep, because I'm I'm at the gym today, and I'm like, man, I just came up with a bomb brand a marketing plan while I was on the elliptical. So I'm trying to hurry up and type it in.
There you go.
Before you lose it.
Right, before I lose it. So you definitely, and I have these same conversations with people, so you definitely can call us and set up appointments for consultations. And I like to do a consultation, just, definitely see what you have, what ideas you have, to make sure we're a good fit before, definitely moving forward, either on our coaching plan or our subscription plans that we do, consulting subscription plans that we do offer. And trust me, I'm building up to the class. I gotta get my team together.
I'm gonna sign up, man. I gotta sign up.
Well, thank you, Shemaya.
Seriously though, because I know there's a lot of people listening out there who are small business owners. What would you say to those who are, they've been in the game and maybe they just hit a certain level and they're stuck?
Yes.
What some advice will you give them? Not too much because they might have to sign up for your mastering class.
Yes.
But some simple tips.
And by the way, although we may be in Texas, actually I do have clients that live outside, so don't let the distance scare you.
That's right.
Or, hey, hit us up. I would say you have to look at where we are in 2017. Right now, social media is king.
Yes.
And I will say what I'm definitely finding out is that even for our older, our seasoned entrepreneurs who are not on social media or not as savvy with it, you may really have to take a look at your budget and or either yourself, and then maybe you got grandchildren or children that may be in that teenage to 20-year range and bring them on board and say, hey, I need you to, probably man our social media, because honestly, that's where we are now. Is that a lot of people are not comfortable with live. I'm gonna be honest with you, I wasn't either. No, my brother just like, hey, you got to do it. And so I did one or two, get comfortable with it, and now it's like normal. But a lot of people aren't really comfortable with going live, or either necessarily don't know how to manage all the sites. So there's Instagram, there's Twitter, there's Facebook, there's LinkedIn, there's Snapchat. I'm not on all of them, but you have to be where your target market's at.
Yeah. So
once you know who your target market is, then you have to, that's where those are the platforms you use to find them. You can boost the post. Like I said, going live always is helpful.
Yes. Let them know you're there.
Yeah, you gotta let people know that you're there. So I think right now on a marketing plan, if you're kind of stuck, just take a look at social media aspect and see kind of where you are. Honestly, tap into local radio stations. I mean, like you guys are here. There may be something similar to Refocus in your city that you can reach out to, or online station. And other people, but at the end of the day, it's always key to definitely link up with people in your industry and build those relationships and see, okay, what are they doing, or how can I either manipulate what they're doing? Because budget is always an issue sometimes, and you got to spend your dollars wisely. So you definitely want to look at, okay, what can you do?
And there's stuff you can do actually for free, like blogging. When we do this podcast every week, that's free traffic every week.
Yes.
So there's, it's almost like exercising. You just gotta keep staying active until. And
that's the key.
So which is my branding post for today. So that's also follow me on Facebook, B Michele Events. That's B, the letter B, Michelle with 1L Events. You can follow me there or send me a friend request to B Michelle. And so each day on Instagram is B Michele Events as well. And so my branding tip for today was basically talking about being consistent and being clear in your message. So even as you're putting it out there, if you set a schedule, because honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, it's hard. Even for myself, I'm now trying to make sure. Yeah, and one thing about Facebook is really cool is that you can schedule the posts. Yeah. So I say, like on Sundays after church or whatever you're doing, sit down on Facebook, schedule your post at least 2 or 3 weeks. That way, okay, once they come out, then it's easy to just share them. So then you can share them to other platforms. But if you got at least a week, at least 2 or 3 weeks of posts already pre-scheduled, you're winning.
Yes.
And then all you have to do is hit the share button.
Yeah.
But definitely blogging is totally one way, which is free. Connecting with even nonprofit organizations that may be in your area, your local SBA.
Community service.
Is definitely a way to stay out there, because at the end of the day, you just want to keep your business. But here's other thing that's key. And sometimes you might need a rebrand. And there's nothing wrong with rebranding. Right. Some of our top companies, like Starbucks, went through a rebrand. They did. When they got their new logo. So if Starbucks rebrands, and here's my other thing that I must say while we on here. If McDonald's, Burger King, Target, and Walmart still advertise.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
And put out commercials and radio ads.
Costs a lot of money too.
You as a small business should be advertising. but at your level. We're not saying get the Super Bowl commercials. No,
you may not be ready.
Right, not ready for that. But you can definitely get on your local station. Maybe see what what's the PBS?
PBS. Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes like the PBS station, they'll scroll your like events and stuff for free. So you may need a rebrand. Also, as an event planner, think about what events you could do to to draw in some traffic and bring people to you.
Because that's a part of branding.
Yes.
And they'll let you know what they like and don't like.
Right.
And then you can reevaluate.
Have a focus group. Invite, some people from, your neighborhood, from the city, or, put together maybe even a focus group just to kind of get some ideas going. So there's a lot of things you can do to overcome if you get stuck, especially right now. There's a lot of resources out there, which you definitely can message me, call me. We can definitely talk about it. But it's just so many things that, even today I was just like, okay, I had a project that kind of came to me and was just thinking about a marketing plan. And so using email system, using the text system, text blast, and they're fairly cheap for the most part.
If you had to pick, if you had to pick one of your favorite things about entrepreneurship, what would that one thing be?
Oh, freedom.
Outside of getting paid.
Exactly. Freedom.
Okay, so freedom is not free, even as an entrepreneur. Let's be clear about that.
That's true.
Freedom is not free. I will say I said freedom in the sense that I'm no longer in a box, and I can maneuver as I see fit.
Right.
But within the guidelines of, and really my own guidelines. And so I can build this company how I see fit, and it's not anybody else's.
Right.
It's mine. And so at the end of the day,
freedom to do it.
Yeah, I have the freedom. And here's
you think some entrepreneurs, you think some entrepreneurs get scared about that freedom?
Oh, yes.
So they just settle and say, oh man, I'm not going to grow no more because...
Yes. Some people want to... And I'm not advocating for everybody to just jump out there and quit your job, but you have to know when it's time for you to quit.
Right.
So you kind of got to do the legwork and get it to where it's a safe place for you to quit. But overcoming that fear, you have to do, you have to at least put in the work and get the train moving.
Right.
And get the train moving to where you can quit. Now, honestly, I was blessed to be able to work overseas, and I saved a lot of money while I was over there. I paid off a lot of bills.
That's a key word right there.
Yes, I paid off a lot of bills, and I saved a lot of money. So once I knew when I came back, I was not teaching. I knew that, period.
Yeah.
I was not going to be in nobody's classroom.
They're going to be in your class.
Right. So, but everybody is not as fortunate as I was to be able to save, several thousands of dollars to start a business. Totally got it. But what you can do is you gotta just build it slowly until you get there, but never be afraid to be free.
Yeah.
Good one.
That's good.
Especially if you got a good Bible plan. Don't be afraid to experience this freedom. And I'm not saying my life is hunky-dory by no means, because the struggle is real over here at B Michele Professional Services and Events. The struggle is real.
Yes.
And real talk. We about to find out how real it is on Saturday. But what I will say is that I will put in the work and I put in the time, because I know it. Once you plant those seeds, when you're planting seeds in good soil, they'll grow.
That's right.
So you can't plant seeds in bad soil.
You can't just do any kind of seed.
Right.
It can still grow in the bad seed, but it's what comes up from the bad seed.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Repeat that, Shemaya.
You can't just plant any kind of seed.
Right.
Because it's easy to just say, I hope this works.
But even in that, and in the branding and building a business that you... Here's the other thing, okay, before I forget to say this. When you ask me the best thing about entrepreneurship is being able to do business with who I want to do business with.
There you go.
I can fire you as a client.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
freedom beyond freedom to know that I can pick and choose who I want to work with. And some people, everybody's not your customer.
They're not.
Exactly.
They're not.
How much for one word?
Yeah.
From the movie.
I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Yeah, so I think when you really realize that and realize who you are and what your business is and who you represent, and it's okay.
Right.
Because people inbox me all the time and they want to talk to me about their business. And I'm like, okay, so it's every time for a consultation. My consultation fee is such and such.
Oh.
Crickets.
Slam on the brakes.
But hey,
You don't hear nothing else.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I don't even worry about it because I'm sick. I got like 30,000 other things happening in my brain, like right now, this very moment while we talking.
Right.
So it's okay. And I just say, hey, I'm here when you're ready.
Yeah. You gotta keep that balance because you can't just say, okay, yeah, but before you know it, you start putting out services to the person, then they dip.
Right.
Because we've had that experience.
Yeah, so no, we can't do
can't
that.
have people dipping all the time.
No.
Yeah.
So it's like, once you tell people X, Y, and Z, it's okay. Like, I'm here when you're ready.
Yes.
Right.
I don't, not saying that you shouldn't follow up, but once I put it out there, and if you're not able to at this time, it's okay.
Right.
God willing, I'll wake up to see many more days. And I'm here when you're ready. And that's pretty much what I had to do for myself.
Right.
To know that it's okay and everybody's not it's okay.
Right.
Because it's enough out here for everybody to grow and to succeed.
It is.
I stay in my lane, and I'm an avid person on staying in your lane. And people always ask me, you do this is I said, but it's all in the confinements of event planning and business.
Right.
The only thing that I do that's outside my lane is these sprinkles. So if you want your house and your office to smell good, hit me up. So that's the only thing that's outside event planning of the business that I do is it's kind of like Scentsy, but it's little sprinkles you put on your warmer. But trust me, there's a method to my madness even on that because I'm really serious about diversifying my clientele. And so I figure this will give me an opportunity to go to different events and meet other people from other backgrounds and other ethnicities. And then I can bring them into my real world. So that was more so the method behind that. And, I'm planting seeds even with that.
Exactly.
I'm not trying to go make $5,000 on sprinkles tomorrow.
I know, right?
Yeah, that's not realistic. And that's another point. You gotta have realistic goals to hit.
Yes, first of all, let's have some goals.
Yeah. Well, that's a good start. That's very important to
have
a goal.
Some.
But make realistic goals that you can hit throughout the year. Yeah. You can't just be like, I want $5 million in 6 months.
I know, right?
It's not gonna happen.
Honestly, to be total honest, like when I started this, I just wanted to replace my salary that I had in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah. Right.
And like at the time, I think it was maybe like $65,000, $70,000 a year. Like honestly, I just really wanted to replace that salary and then go from there. So I really didn't want a whole lot. That was my goal at the time, really, and I figured it would just build from there. So not to say that was small-minded, but I just wanted to. I figured that was a great starting point, being in a whole new city and trying to build this business. We just started with just replacing the salary that I left.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you really want to, each step you take, you want it to be a secure step and not just slip all over the place.
No.
If you're trying to play catch up because you see so-and-so, and it's like, well, how come I'm not getting these kind of clients and how come I'm not making this kind of money every month? You just got to take your time, but still be active.
Yeah, I mean, like, in the words of Juvenile, slow motion. I mean, like, really, slow motion with it. Because it's easy to get caught up in because you look at the successes of other people and then you totally doubt yourself and be like, well, why is
what
this
did
happening?
It take for them?
Right.
Yeah.
And so like this is a total best example I always give people. Like Kevin Hart is where he is now, but a lot of people don't realize Kevin Hart has been in this business for over 20-some years. If y'all remember in the movies he used to do in the beginning. Like this didn't happen in 2011,
right?
Kevin Hart has been doing this for a while. He just happened to have his moment, and it
took off.
It took off
at the right time.
And that's why I tell people you have to realize that this is why it's important to support, number one, up and coming artists,
right?
Because everybody had to put in work. It don't just happen overnight. And even with your business, you have to put in the work. And even Tyler Perry is another great example of he slept in his car. He kept doing the plays and kept doing the plays, and he just said in that one play is when they all came.
Yeah.
But it was years. It was a lot of time before he got to movies every other month.
Where he's at today.
Right.
And so now people are hating on him.
Right. Like he bought all of Fort McPherson, I think, and turned it into his Tyler Perry Studios. So it's a slow train, but I think at the same time you do have to, they say, put things in place. And people, like right now, I'm totally looking for an assistant in an office. I feel like we've been in business 4 years now. I enjoy getting out of my bed and walking 2 feet to my desk.
Right.
I'll get a $1 million company in my PJs. Awesome. But it's time for us to really grow in just outwardly as well. So I've been looking at office spaces. I actually called a guy yesterday. Hopefully, I'll pick one here soon because my goal is by 2018. I want people to be coming to my office and not at Starbucks, but I will have some Starbucks there. Or we'll have a Keurig.
Right.
you can get a cup of coffee when we come meet.
Well, time is flying, Mr. Shemaiah.
Yes, it is.
Almost up.
So we need to get on this praise and laughter.
Oh, yes.
Volume 3.
Coming this Saturday. Tell us about that.
All right, so this is my baby. This is my other baby. So, Laugh It Up Comedy Show, that's my secular baby. And the Praise and Laughter, this is our Christian comedy series. We're on volume 3. Our last, volume 2, we had Zacardi Cortez, Small Fry. Small Fire now. She used to be Small Fry when she was on BET Comedy View.
Okay, I remember her.
Yes, that was such an awesome show. And this is volume 3 with Marcus D. Wiley from Yolanda Adams Morning Show. Will be headlining this show. We have Benita Ward, who's a local comic, up and coming, very, very funny lady. We have gospel artist Josh Hurt, who's the praise and worship leader. I believe at Place for Life. He's had a lot going on music wise. He's very. I think he had a worship event called the Worship Gathering with Amanda Curtis.
I'm not sure.
Awesome singer from TDJ Bishop Jake's
Don't get me
Church.
the line. I don't.
Okay, her name is Amanda. I think it was Amanda Curtis, something like that. I'm sorry if I chopped up her name, but she was phenomenal. So I went to see him at his event. Amazing guy. So we're looking forward to having him. Our host T. Bryant. Y'all know Brother Bryant.
Yes, we do.
Y'all know Brother Bryant. It's so funny.
No one has a voice like his.
I know. He's okay. The one thing that I love about Thomas is the fact that because he can sing and he's funny, and so he's able to mix the two. They're like a Jamie Foxx type situation. He's able to mix the two in his routine. So, all I can say is and I'm not saying this because I put the show together, but really, it is a great show, and you guys are definitely in for a really big treat this coming Saturday. So I just hope to see everyone in the building. Just pray God send y'all all my way.
So they can get tickets where?
So you can get tickets online at praiseandlaughter.com, or you can visit Redeeming Grace Church at 4500 North Foster Road, or at Ed Smoking Q, which is at 4419 Rockdale Drive, off of WW White on east side of San Antonio. So those 3 locations, or you can call me 210-570-7096 for tickets. Those are the main spots, and I'll be out and about for the next 2 days. Somebody is asking me, can I get them booked for y'all show?
Oh, we can see what they do and catch back with them later.
Okay. I'll talk to them after this.
just real quick, how can people stay in touch with your business, social media, and website?
Okay, so our website is bmichele.com, which we are going to be doing. So we're doing a total rebrand, but definitely bmichele.com have all our events listed there, so you can definitely contact us there. B Michele Professionals or bmprofessional.com has more of all of our printing items. Social media wise, you can follow us on Instagram at B Michele Events all together, and BM Professional Services or BM Professional is our other Instagram page, and then obviously Facebook is B space Michele with 1L Events. You can like us there or send us a friend request at B like the insect, BEEMICHELE. So pretty much everything B Michele, some form of.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So real quick, one more thing. Also, Is the City is a new company here in San Antonio for marketing. So if you guys are looking for ways to market your business, actually for any city, it's actually kind of going to be global once we really get it out there. But definitely follow us on Facebook at Is the City. That's ISCITY. Check us out. You can Google it. The page should come up as well. And so they have a lot of stuff going on as well. So check out Is the City.
Well, that is all the time we have for today's show on I Am Refocused Podcast. I want to thank our special guest, B Michele Events. And also, last but not least, want to give a big shout out to the owner of Rockafellas Barber Shop, Rico Rodriguez. Make sure you come by, get your hair cut. We're going to have all information in the description for B Michele's event coming up this Saturday. You guys stay tuned. We're taking a break next week. So happy Thanksgiving. You guys have a good one. Shout out to Is the City, man. You guys check them out on Facebook. And like I said, next week we're taking a break. So happy Thanksgiving. God bless.
Bye.